Ever get that itch, for a very specific kind of game? Like, you can practically see the world the way it feels to play it.
Oh, tell me about it.
And then you find one that's like perfectly what you imagined. That's what we're diving into today. Gestalt, Steam and Cinder. But, T, get this, through the eyes of a Thai gamer.
Ooh, interesting. See, that's what I love about finding these reviews, totally fresh perspective.
Right. And with Metroidvanias being so hot right now, expectations are AGH.
No kidding. This review isn't just a thumbs up or down, it gets into the why, which is what we're all about.
Exactly. And they jump right in, comparing it to Mega Man X, even some Souls-like elements.
Interesting combo. So, familiar but with a twist.
That's the idea. One detail that grabbed me, they said you have to actually break an enemy's armor before you can really damage them.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
That's a layer of strategy.
Right. Instead of just hacking away, you got to think tactically.
It makes you wonder, does that tie into the whole Souls-like comparison? Like stamina management, timing your attacks.
Oh, good point. Speaking of which, they did mention the bosses could feel kind of easy if you're leveled up.
That's always a tough one, right? Game difficulty is so subjective.
Totally. Some days I want to challenge, other days I just want to mow through enemies.
And that can depend on the game's length, too. Speaking of which, the reviewer did mention they felt it was a bit on the short side.
Interesting. Makes you wonder if the difficulty is balanced around that, right? Like, shorter game, maybe they didn't want it to be too punishing.
Could be. What do you think deal breaker? Or does a shorter, maybe slightly easier game still have its place?
Ooh, good question. Honestly, depends on my mood. Sometimes you just want that tight, focused experience.
Totally. But okay, before we spiral into a whole debate on game length, can we talk about the art style?
Oh man, the reviewer was gushing, especially the character designs, even for the enemies.
See, that's what gets me excited when even the small details are well crafted.
Right, it just sucks you into the world. Although, they did say the music was a tad limited. Like, good, but maybe got a bit repetitive.
That can be tough, especially depending on the game's length. Short bursts, maybe not noticeable, but a 40-hour epic, I need some variety.
For sure. It's all about setting the atmosphere. Speaking of which, that kind of leads into what they said about the story. Classic steampunk adventure. But here's the kicker. You've got an NPC companion.
Wait, really? That's not something you see often in a Metroidvania.
Right. Usually it's you alone exploring this massive world. So having a companion, I don't know, just adds a different dynamic.
Totally. Makes you wonder, does that tie into the story in a deeper way? Or is it more of a gameplay mechanic?
Ooh, good question. And speaking of story, this is where things get interesting. Remember how we were talking about games having flaws?
Uh-oh, this doesn't sound good.
The reviewer had one major gripe, the ending.
Oh no, don't tell me. Click that cliffhanger.
Worse. They said it felt abrupt. Like the game just ends. Their guess was, maybe rush for release.
Oof, that's rough. I mean, I get it, game dev is tough, but still, when you're invested in a story, that can be so disappointing.
Right. Like, what do you do with that? Is a flawed game still worth playing if the journey's good? We'll dig into that right after this.
So, back to that abrupt ending. I'm still processing that, not gonna lie. It's just rough when a game grabs you and then just thought stops. How much does a weak ending ruin a game for you? It's always a tough one. It's like finding out your favorite band's last album is a total dud. Still love them, but disappointing. But T, even with that ending, the reviewer kept comparing Gestalt to these huge Metroidvanias like Hollow Knight, After Image.
And those are serious time commitments. Like Hollow Knight, you're looking at 40 hours, easy. So maybe Gestalt, even with its flaws, it's a good intro to the genre. Like a taste test before diving into the huge buffet.
Love that analogy because, sometimes you just want the highlights, right? Not a whole epic saga. Maybe this gets you familiar with the mechanics without overwhelming you.
Right. Like, I love those sprawling worlds, but sometimes a tight, focused experience is what hits the spot.
Absolutely. And that seems key to what the reviewer kept saying, the game's tightness. Even with flaws, the core gameplay's solid, art is beautiful, that steampunk vibe is strong.
True. But okay, let's be real. That ending. Would you be cool with it, even if everything else clicked?
You know, it depends on how invested I was in the story.
Yeah.
If it's killing me to know what happens next, I'd be bummed. But if the real draw is the exploration, the combat, the world itself, maybe less so.
That's fair. It's like, what are your priorities, right? Story over everything. Or is a great atmosphere, fun gameplay enough? I think I lean towards if the journey's good, I can forgive a weak ending.
I can see that.
Yeah.
It's like the classic saying, it's about the journey, not the destination, right?
Mhm.
Although a strong ending, it does elevate the whole thing, that sense of closure you get, seeing the story through.
Oh, for sure. Speaking of closure, how about we wrap with some final thoughts on Gestalt?
Let's do it.
So there we have it. Gestalt, steam and cinder. Kind of feels like we walked out with mixed feelings, right?
Yeah, it's a tough one to pin down.
Because on the one hand, the stuff they nail, really good. That tight gameplay loop, the whole armor-breaking thing, and the art, man, gorgeous.
Absolutely. But then you've got the length, that ending, leaves you wanting more, but not necessarily in a good way.
Right. Like, it makes you wonder, are we too quick to write off a game if it doesn't check every box?
That's an interesting thought. Like, what if this is intentionally a different kind of experience? Focused, tight, instead of trying to be this huge, sprawling thing.
Right. It's like some nights you want a gourmet burger, other nights it's 5 courses and fancy wine, you know?
Perfect analogy.
Yeah.
Maybe Gestalt is that perfect burger. You get in, you have fun, you're not bogged down for hours and hours.
Exactly. And going back to those comparisons, the reviewer made Hollow Knight after Image. If you're new to this genre, maybe Gestalt is the perfect starting point.
Right. Like dip your toes in the water, get a feel for it before you commit to the deep end.
And if you're already a Metroidvania master,
Maybe it's that palate cleanser between those huge meals, exactly like you were saying earlier.
love it. So, final thought for our listeners, many of whom I'm sure are now curious about this game. What would you tell them?
Don't go in expecting those 100-hour epics. Gestalt has its own thing going on. Enjoy the ride, that awesome combat, soak in the atmosphere. And who knows, maybe that ending will hit differently once you've seen the whole thing.
Well said. And on that note, we'll leave you all to ponder the mysteries of Gestalt, Steam and Cinder. Until next time, happy gaming.